Carol Feldman with the Associated Press. The 2016 presidential campaign is well underway, and I have a two-part question. Many of the would-be Republican candidates are bringing education and education policies to the fore. The first part of the question is there a Republican who could be an education president, in your view? And secondly, in view of your past support for Hillary Clinton, are you ready to support her for president?
Well, last I heard, she hasn't announced yet. So I don't think you can actually support a candidate before a candidate actually announces. And frankly, I don't know whether she's running or not. So, you know, let's have that. We'll consider that question if and when she announces. In terms of Republicans.
What's your instinct on that, Randy?
I can tell you what I would like, but I can't give you my instinct. Look, I think she'd be a fantastic president if she decides to run, but she has to make that decision. On the issue of Republican, I would love if education became a bipartisan issue again. Public education became a bipartisan issue again. I just read a quote from Dwight Eisenhower from 1954. Remember, Eisenhower fought. Eisenhower was the president when Brown v. Board came down. And Eisenhower put troops out there in Little Rock. And Eisenhower did a lot to help fight to ensure that that decision was honored. And sometime, I would say, post President Reagan, you saw a real divide in terms of public education. We have many, many members who are Republicans who really believe that education should be a bipartisan issue. And so it would be great if there was a Republican candidate who actually thought that there should be an investment into public education, who actually believed that kids who have the least should get the most, not as a talking point, but taking things like Title I and the war on poverty and IDEA and funding it in a way that local districts didn't have to. So it would be great if there was a Republican candidate who really actually thought about shared opportunity for all children, and that there should be a ladder of opportunity for each and every child.
Hi, I'm Dan Mihalopoulos from the Chicago Sun-Times, and I would like to ask you basically a two-part question. Do you think Karen Lewis herself should run for mayor against Rahm next year if the candidates that she wants to run don't run because, like Hillary, they haven't announced yet? And beyond that, do you think that CTU and other teachers' unions have done enough to transform themselves into political force, which we haven't seen in Chicago, frankly?
So look, I talk to Karen all the time. I think running for mayor is the farthest thing from her head. I think she wants to have, my words, not hers. She wants to have a viable public education system in Chicago that helps all children succeed. And that is what dominates her and animates her every single day. Karen is a nationally board certified teacher. If you've spent any time with her in the school in which she taught, she is beloved. She really cares about kids, and she really cares about her members, and she fights every single day to try to get the kind of equity into that school system. And for us, in terms of politics, this is a matter of public education is our lifeblood. Most of us would never be where we are except for public education, and we believe it is the great equalizer for all children. And so you need to use politics to try to effectuate that, But let me be really clear. Right now, the political system is the political system is broken right now. With the McCutcheon case, with Citizens United, you have money that has displaced people in so many different elections. The fact that the last presidential election cost each candidate $1 billion. Look at the difference between the last presidential election and the last election in New York City. New York City, the last mayoral election, every single one of the candidates was under the Campaign Finance Board auspices. And it wasn't an election that cost gazillions of dollars. What did they do instead? They did debate after debate after debate in lots of different places so that they would actually talk to people. So there is, if there is something wrong with our system right now where money counts more than people. And so we have to engage with that process, but it would be nice if that process was about the issues, not about the demonization and the marginalization that goes on right now.